Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at arklatexhomepage.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Marces with your New Year's Eve forecast update. If you did miss it yesterday, the National Weather Service did expand the flash flood watch. Now includes several of our parishes in Louisiana, as well as the rest of our counties in East Texas that weren't included yesterday. So we've already had several inches of rain in some spots here. The heaviest rain overnight, kind of along I-20, and that rain's kind of shifting to the north this morning. So it is possible. I think we could see another 2 to 4 inches of rain in some spots today, but look at your pinpoint Doppler this morning showing that the frontal boundary that's out there, it's actually lifting back to the north a little bit. So it looks like for the morning commute here, if you do have to be out and about today, we are going to be seeing some pretty soggy conditions up and down the I-30 corridor. You can see Shreveport will get a little bit of a break here, but we'll have to watch some of these scattered showers that do pop up through the morning. Looks like the most significant push of rain through Shreveport will likely be a little bit later this afternoon. You can see what's causing the rain. We still have that frontal boundary there, which basically stalled out overnight, but it actually is pushing back to the north here this morning. We've got this big area of low pressure which will start to move across Texas today. So just that motion towards us is what's going to lift that warm front, and that's why we'll see the heaviest rain this morning across the I-30 corridor. But we're looking at what will likely be another round of thunderstorms developing at some point today. Severe weather threat has shifted a little bit further to the south as to what we were showing you yesterday. So right now Shreveport is not included in the severe weather risk, but especially down here through Sabine as well as Natchitoches parishes, that's where we'll have to be on the lookout for potentially maybe a few damaging wind gusts. And as we saw yesterday, we could see the potential for maybe a few brief spin-up tornadoes. And the window for that will likely be throughout the afternoon and into the early evening as well. If you do have travel plans today, I'll kind of widen out the map here. If you're going down to South Louisiana, maybe headed off towards New Orleans for the new year, just be careful as we'll likely have a pretty significant line of thunderstorms and very favorable for tornadoes down here along the coastline. And that will be tonight into early tomorrow morning. So it is going to be kind of a rough New Year's morning for those locations, but we should see most of the rain wrap up here before we get to midnight. So here's a look at your Robbins Toyota Futurecast for the morning. Again, we don't expect to see any significant or severe weather this morning, but it is these storms this afternoon that we'll have to keep a close eye on, especially once we get past about 1-2 p.m. this afternoon. Don't expect to see any severe weather across the northern Arklatex, but the rain will persist for you folks for much of the morning and much of the day actually, and you can see this final push of rain coming in after sunset tonight. So this will be the last of it. We may have just a lingering shower at midnight tonight, but what will happen tonight, we'll get the south wind behind this departing low, so it may not be necessarily cold, but it is kind of going to be a cool and breezy night. We may actually have temperatures in the 50s across much of the region at midnight, so just be prepared for what will be a cool and breezy night. We'll probably have a few lingering showers here for the northern Arklatex, and we'll be stuck with the clouds again through the day tomorrow, but we are expecting drier conditions for your New Year's Day. Taking into account some of the rain that's already fallen and then adding what we'll see today, you can see Futurecast still highlighting that we could see good 2 to 4 inches of rain in the watch area. So the thing to be on the lookout today would be for some flooded roadways. We're not seeing any reports of that this morning, but as these next rounds of rain develop, obviously that is something that we'll have to keep a close eye on. Temperatures will be very tricky today. We're anywhere from 39 in Idabel to 56 in Manny, so it's a pretty cool morning, a little bit cooler than what we experienced yesterday. But we do know with this warm front lifting across the region, we'll likely see a bit of a warm up here, especially in that area that has the potential for severe weather. But in Shreveport, we'll likely be in the 50s for much of the day. Texarkana, probably in the upper 40s for much of the morning and into the afternoon, and likely in the lower 40s here north of I-30s. You'll really be tapped into the cold air. Also a breezy day. Winds have turned to the northeast, and we're expecting gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour today, and likely pretty breezy day tomorrow. But we do have much nicer conditions as we head into the weekend and early next week. Looks like our next cold front will likely arrive next Wednesday.